purpose of the deal, I suppose, is to try and put in context some of the things that are happening in the market and have been happening in the market over the last couple of years. We've seen, obviously, a change to a level of home working that we never thought was possible, and has been not only achieved, but achieved in many cases with increased levels of productivity. And we've seen, I think, as a result of the pandemic and different working, people re-examining what they want to get out of their job, what their expectations are, how long they're going to stay in their firm, and everything else. We've also seen, for a lot of professionals, and particularly in the law firm sector, a stunning level of financial performance. It seems that you can have the world's biggest peacetime disruption and law firms just continue producing revenue and profits willy-nilly. And I think that has caused a range of things to happen. And one of the biggest things we're seeing at the moment is a massive increase in associate salaries. We've seen that driven predominantly in London out by the US firms, but now rippling around the country, and some quite eye-watering increases of the salary base coming from that. And with some of the top US firms being said to offer newly qualifieds £150,000 a year plus bonuses plus, it's quite obvious that in that sort of environment, the vast majority of firms cannot come anywhere close to competing with that. And therefore, the point of my talk this morning is for firms really to stand back and say, well, look, if we can't compete entirely on price, what is our deal? What is our proposition to our people? Why should they join us? Why should they stay with us? Why should they be motivated with us? And I think that's something that's become much, much more important. Firms are increasingly talking about it and increasingly trying to articulate why people should be with them. Now, let me look at some of the elements of the deal. It's pay and perks are clearly part of it. You can't be so way out of line that people will take a massive pay cut to come to you. What are your hours expectations? What do you expect from people in the firm in terms of hours commitment to the firm, in terms of chargeable hours, pro bono, etc.? What type of work will they get? How much client contact will they have? Will they be encouraged to develop their own clients? Will they be permitted a level of remote working? Can they work flexibly and have control over their hours? Is there a hybrid element so that they can meet their colleagues face to face and effectively? What sort of feedback are they going to get on their work? Is that going to be timely and useful and constructive? Is there transparency as to my career prospects, and how will I be told about those? Am I treated with a degree of respect? Are my views going to be welcomed and my opinions sought? What is the culture of the business, and is this something you just talk about, or is this something you deliver? How sociable a business is it? How well do people get on? How do people interact? How open are the firm in explaining to everybody in it the strategy, their financial and other performance, client wins, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to develop? Has the firm a serious commitment to pro bono initiatives, to ESG commitments, or are these just wallpaper? The list can inevitably go on quite a bit, but those are the sort of things I think firms need to be thinking about and articulating, but not just thinking about and articulating. If you are going to say these things, you better damn well deliver them. And that's where it's an important part. It's the deal. If I want people to come to me and if I want people to work with me, this is what I am going to expect from you. But this is what you can expect from us as an employer and as somebody to work with. And this applies not just to your professional fee earners, it applies to all of your staff in the organization. But increasingly, firms are also articulating the deal in relation to salaried and equity partners, so that there's a greater clarity of expectation on both sides, and consequences inevitably for failure to deliver those. I mean, you have to look at some of the financial drivers. If a firm is increasing its salary rates by 20, 30, 40, 50%, I'm afraid those receiving those salary increases have to be careful what they wish for, because inevitably there will be a greater expectation of performance for that. And inevitably, as the market falls, if the market adjusts at any time in the future, there'll be a greater propensity to exit people sooner than perhaps when they were at a low level of cost. So there are a range of challenges with this, but people need to be very clear and to articulate them and to deliver them consistently. And I think if firms can work their way through that, they have something other than just cash, because on cash alone, given the really hot nature of the market, they will lose. Thank you.